There
Why?
was a legitimate countdown. That made me really nervous.
We're about at almost a year. We have 2 more months. So it's like about 10 months we've been doing this charade. Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Candice.
And welcome to Don't Start.
And as we like to say, don't start.
Candice, save it for the show.
Exactly. So let's get to it. Does it feel like 10 months? Also, too, I keep telling myself it's June we started, but I think that might be a lie.
I think I did a first post like April.
Yeah, it's a lie. So I'm lying.
Go deep in the gram.
Oh, no,
to
don't
check-
go in the ground. Don't do that to yourself.
Don't do it. You got it. Won't do it. I heard you didn't sleep. I like your rooting on the Yankees though.
Yeah, my Yankee ball cap that I've had I think I've had this hat since I'm 13, which also tells you the size of my head has been the same since I'm 13 because I literally have not adjusted it. It's such an old ball cap. But yeah, I didn't sleep. It is
That's
impressive.
impressive.
I know, I've kept
Are
it
you
for
a
a
big
while.
Yankees fan?
Growing up, I really was. I was a huge Yankees fan. My cousins were all into it, so I felt like I was like a part of something. When they won, remember the year they won? We were in high school and they had the parade.
Subway Series?
Yeah, the Subway Series. But we were like, I think I was a freshman in high school and everyone ditched. And I was the one that was like, I can't ditch. I'm going to get in trouble. And then my really, really close friend at the time, who I still know and love dearly, was like, I'm out. Are we not going? Because I'm leaving. And I was like, you're going? She's like, follow me. And then I was like, no, I'm going to go to homeroom. I was like, I can't not go. I'm going to get in trouble. And
Yeah.
stupid Candace walks into homeroom, the only one there. The entire freshman class ditched, and I was the only one attending my classes. It was awful. I was like, what is
The
wrong
whole
with
day? Did
the
you
whole
sleep
day? Every class I went to, it was either me and then like me and the junior that got left back that was still in a freshman class. I was like, this is awful. I called my mom during lunch on the payphone and was like, Mom, please, can I go to this parade? She's like, too late now. They're all in New York City. And it's true. It was too late. Like, how was I going to find everyone? Everyone ditched and got on the bus, and I didn't.
Oh,
I
see,
know.
those are the moments where like I say I don't regret much, but I bet you have regrets on that one.
I have regrets. So now when I'm like, don't be the goody two shoes, Candace, go for it. And sometimes I make a really bad decision of going for certain things that I'm like, oh, I should have did that. But like that was a moment where I was like, oh, why did I follow the rules so much?
I'm very similar to you. So I'm not gonna but I do think I have a little bit more of a okay, I'm gonna go. And
I
I'm
could
not
totally
as
see
rebellious,
you.
but be a big one that I
I
think I
could
would.
totally see you being like, I don't think we should do this, but I'm gonna do it. And then like on the bus ride to the city to see the Yankees, you're like, I shouldn't have did this. I shouldn't have did
No,
this.
I'll
And
be
then you
like
have a great time.
just studying something or making sure I'm sending in some type of
Right.
thing for work. Your
No.
teachers are probably like, "Would you leave, Candace? Like, we don't want to be here."
Well,
What
do you
other
remember?
I was gonna say, yeah, another thing from high school that you remember
I'm
or
about to be
school.
like, I remember that day going to computer class because that's what it was a computer class. And I went to
Right.
computer class, and my computer teacher, whose daughter I think was like a year older or something, I remember that she was like, what are you doing here, Candace? I was like, I know. It was embarrassing.
Oh,
I
well,
know.
you're representing today. I think baseball starts just around the corner in a few weeks.
It's true. We're end of February, baby. End of February. We made it.
Do you still watch baseball? It's a very
Yeah,
long game.
sometimes it is a really, really long game. I have like, I'm gonna call it baseball mini ties. What I mean by that is like my mother's brother was a really good player, drafted. Tom's father was a great player, drafted. Yeah, they all got some sort of injury which took them out, unfortunately. But like, and then also my cousin Keith was a phenomenal player. So like,
Your dad have a garage? Was it near Yankee Stadium?
and then that was the other thing. Good memory. My dad owned for like 20 years an auto body shop across the street from Damn Yankees. My inner soul wants to be in Damn Yankees.
Oh,
That
another
was a Freudian slip.
one. Lola gets.
New York Yankees that I would go sit on the rooftop of the auto body shop and watch. I could see. over to the stadium, which
Put me
was really
in,
cool.
coach. Hey, put me in.
It was really cool. So yes. I have like when I can now, I will watch it. But it's a long game, like you said. Baseball's a long game for me.
I did
Yeah.
one time in Dodgers Stadium. I've been to more Dodgers games than I have East Coast
Yeah.
uh, games, but we did like the like all you can eat and like drink at Dodger
Mm.
Stadium. And let me tell you, there's only so many Dodger dogs you can eat.
Yeah. No. And by the way, have you gone recently? Because it's like a dog is like $8, $12, where they used to be like $3.
I think at some point, at least once a podcast, we talk about pricing being too high.
This has gone, this is now a theme in my life because either I'm getting old or I'm like, someone said to me yesterday, I had a meeting and they were like, oh, you don't gain perspective in life until you're over the 35-year-old mark. And then you start having perspective and you're like, wait, that milk costs how much? And it's really true.
It
Once
is true.
we
So
hit that 35, I feel like I started to really gain perspective and like started to connect things. Otherwise, I was just floating.
it's laughable. I was looking at a house the other day, just
Oh,
perusing like you do. Like I think that's another thing as you get older, you just start like scrolling on Zillow. And I was looking at something, and it was like, like a $500,000 house. In the 90s, it was an $80,000 house.
I'm so
I said
sorry.
80,000 probably, that's a college education. Maybe
That's
like 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. I don't know what happened to me, but I'm like you, where I'm like, that is expensive. But my mom's like that. I told you, my mom's like that person that's like, that's too expensive.
$80,000 when we were like 10.
I
And
know.
now it went up to a $500,000. That is not real. That is not real numbers.
No, it's not
Anywho,
remember.
so we're really hoping to change the economy this year between us and saying at once a podcast that things are too expensive, but everybody's feeling it. But speaking of that, yes, we made it through February. We are getting closer to the spring has sprung.
I know. I gotta know. Now that we're at the end of February, do you or know anyone that was born on a leap year? Because that's the weirdest thing to me.
I think there's like one person, but not like I feel like it's like somebody that Chad knows. Because we
Oh,
celebrated, I feel like it was like last year or something like that.
yeah. My neighbor grew up next, like she obviously was my neighbor, but in Staten Island, she was across the street. So it was like our backyards looked, my front yard looked at her backyard. Um, Italian, obviously. Her mom was like off the boat from Italy. And when I remember when I met her, she literally was like, I'm only 4. And I was like, you're 4 years old, but we were like
Oh,
9 or whatever we
sweetest
were.
joke ever.
And she literally was like, yeah, I think she was, maybe we were older, but she was just like, yeah, my birthday's on leap year. And I was like, oh. And I remember going home to my mom and being like, so what's a leap year? Do they leap over the year, mom? Like, I didn't
Like,
understand it as a kid.
still don't. Like, why do we have leap year?
The actual reason? Oh, I don't know. You got to chat GBT that. She's doing it right now.
I'm
Katie,
Googling
Katie's
it.
not here today, so
To
we have
keep
to
our
chat GBT
calendar in
that.
sync with the Earth's orbit around the sun
So is it every other year?
every 40 years.
It is every 4 years. That's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah. But as a kid, I remember going, Mom, do we leap over it? Like, I didn't understand. Long story short is she for sure had a leap year birthday. Still does. We giggle. She's like, when all of us are like, we're hitting 30, she was like, I'm nowhere near close. And it was really cute. But it's a very odd thing to explain to a child. Like, your
You just don't
29th is
acknowledge
not
it
here
and you
this
say your
year.
birthday is the 27th.
Stop it. If you had a child on leap year, you're going to be like, your birthday's March 1st or
The
the
28th
28th
is, oh, right. 29th would be the leap
of
year.
February. Yes. So are you going to tell your child your birthday's February 28th or March 1st?
I think I would choose
That's
that,
really
though we would
weird.
celebrate it. You wouldn't celebrate it? That would be very
Oh,
rude to your
great.
child.
No.
Sorry, see you in 4 years.
It's like that Everybody Loves Raymond episode from a million years ago where he's like, the older brother, Robert's like, my birthday's in March or something. And they're like, yeah, sure. And he's like, my birthday's not in March. I'm like, well, you were born in December and we didn't want to tell people that we were pregnant. So we
Oh my
just
gosh,
gave
that's
you a
very
March
funny. My
birthday.
grandmother did celebrate my dad's birthday on the wrong day till he was in T-ball. Like she was celebrating it January 9th
Stop
and his
it.
birthday was the 8th. And then she like gave him the birth certificate for a T-ball and was like, "Oh, whoops.
No, stop it. Did your grandmother have like 10
It's
children? What, would she
Myrtle."
lose
It
track?
was
What happened?
Myrtle. That's what she did. It was a Myrtle thing. She also did like She made like rhubarb pie, strawberry rhubarb pie, and did it with asparagus by mistake. But nobody was could tell her because rhubarb is looks like a vegetable, right? Like a root. And she did it with asparagus by mistake, and everyone was like, "Oh, they look so beautiful." She bought the wrong vegetable.
Wait,
She
I
does.
love Myrtle. I feel like I watch way too much TV because I'm like, you're living the Friends episode where Rachel does the pie and everyone's
That's
like, it's
very
so great.
funny. I mean, that's isn't a lot of things inspired by
Oh
real
my
life?
God. Yeah, it all is. What are we really saying? But yes, leap year every 4 years. So anyone who has a leap year birthday, happy
Yay,
birthday.
February
But like
28th or
also
March 1st.
weird. Hi, Don't Start Friends. My comedy special has officially dropped. Yeah, it's streaming on Apple TV and Amazon Prime. Just type in Candice Gardino, Italian bread, and watch it now with your family, with your friends, by yourself. I mean, it's a night full of laughs. Come meet my family and tag us in any pictures on social media because we'd love to repost. Back to the show. I
Tis
don't
the
know.
time of year to go on spring break, go on a vacation, almost there. Do you have anything?
So I will currently, when this episode comes out, I'll currently be in Florida and we will be I have two shows, which is exciting in Florida, but then we're doing
She loves
Disney
it.
for
Are you
three
doing
days
VIP
again.
Disney? The VIP
Am I
Disney?
doing what?
Remember
I
when you
don't know
had
what
the
that
super
means. Yeah, we got
duper
the bracelet
VIP?
thing. Oh, no, no, I'm never gonna have that again. Like
It's
how I grew
weird.
up, never, never. No, it's awful. Unless somehow I befriend someone in
Oh,
Disney
are
that's
you
like really
doing
high
that?
up,
Wow,
which
I feel
hasn't
like that's
happened
a
yet.
secret plan. I'm befriending someone at Disney with a very high up.
Wait, isn't that everyone's secret plan? We all want to have like a really close friend high up in Disney to give us all the perks and tell me all the government
I
secrets because
feel
I'm sure
like
they know
Disney was
everything. Disney.
always one of the highly protected places in the country. No?
Mm, I like that.
Chad and
Yeah,
I
I'm
are
with you.
going next week to Panama. We fly to Panama City, and then we're going to Boca
Oh,
del Toro. And Chad is having a Chad trip because, well, I guess Sarah always has a Sarah trip somehow scheduled. So this year, yeah,
wait,
Chad's
stop
always
it.
it's
What's a
surfing.
Chad trip?
So we're going to a place called Red Frog Bungalows that's right on the water in Boca del Toro,
Okay.
which we take a boat there, like a little boat. I'm a little nervous because I'm thinking I'm bringing books because if he's surfing, I'm not surfing. I'm not
Okay.
surfing. I don't want to surf. I just not okay.
Do you
Don't
know
come at
how to
me.
surf?
I don't know how to surf. That's I don't.
That was aggressive because all of my fears of surfing just came to like my chest into my
I
neck
don't
and I was
want
like I
to.
have to
I
yell this
don't want
out.
to. So have I ever told you one of our
I
first
don't want you
dates?
to.
We did paddleboarding, which stand-up paddleboard, totally cool, right? Like I grew up going to the ocean. Like my brother and sister-in-law were both surf beach lifeguards. My dad was a beach lifeguard, and all of that. But I always joked when they were below sea level, I was above because I was dancing on stages every summer. I was doing like theater. Like I was not as like I'm not like I don't read the tides. I do not so Chad takes us on a date and I'm thinking we're just going to intercoastal where it's like no waves. No waves. We're just chilling, standing, paddleboard. I buy myself a new bathing suit, sunglasses. I do my
Of course you
hair.
did. You probably look so
We
cute.
go to the ocean. We go past the break and he just takes off.
No,
And
no,
I'm like, what are we doing?
no. Wait, he just left you and you were like,
I
I got
am a
this?
very slightly determined person in that kind of way. And I do find myself capable. And it was
No.
it was a nice day to go to the ocean because it wasn't bad waves. But I don't know how to get back in. And these things are like the size of my, like this little studio in here, these stand up paddle boards. I come in like a beached whale. And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not that girl, Chad. Find yourself a girl like that. It's done. Like,
I was like, I would be frolicking and dying and literally
beach
drowning in
whale.
the
And
ocean. I'd
those
be like, I
things are
can't.
hard and I was just like, I've never gone past the break. And it's like, I guess there was an assumption about me like doing that. And I still think I can, but I don't know if I really need or want. We'll see. Maybe I'll get inspired. I just think my bathing suit's gonna go up my butt. Like if I do any.
No, my bathing suit would have fell off, or I would have, no, actually mine never falls off. I just have more of the world's biggest wedgie. Like that's what have
These guys
happened. And
are
I've been like,
professional surfers at this place. And I know Chad's like
yeah, no,
prepping and like
no.
surfing and, working out and making sure he's in
Oh
shape.
yeah.
And like, it's going to be pretty cool because there's only 4 bungalows there. You do like breakfast with everybody, but I think we go fishing too. But it is very much, it's like jungle,
I love that.
but I am going to bring a book and maybe chill. It'll be not my traditional vacation.
I love that you guys do the thing where it's like you celebrate each other and you're like, first of all, you're totally invoking spring. You're like, I'm going to the
Yes.
warmth to bring spring back here. And you're like, we're going to do a Sarah trip, we're going to do a Chad trip, and now we're doing a Chad trip. And I think that's really fun. I like that. I think that's super smart and healthy for a couple. I really do. Tom's not getting his own trip. There's no freaking way. Because for my luck, he'll be like, you know what I've always wanted to do? And he'll be like,
That
backpacking.
sounds
I'm like, I'm not
wonderful.
backpacking.
You would
I had this conversation.
laugh with
Yeah, no, I'm not that
wait,
girl.
but then you know what well, can
No,
I tell you
no.
something?
They
Mark
can
and Janice
go.
do it a lot.
No.
You can get cabins at state parks
What?
and national parks now. And you just have to get them and rent them out. And so like they are on property. It's not that you're camping. You are a
Oh my
city girl.
God, no. Have you? I've Tom actually thinks he can go camping, and we went once, and it was he almost died. He was like, "I need a clean bathroom." He's like, I can't do this." I was like, "Yeah, exactly." Like we were not okay. If anything, I survived better than he did, and
Yeah.
no. But I do think he would be like. I said this to someone the other day. I was like, let's just say Tom and I never got married, never, and he was single. He would be the guy that like took off for the year and went backpacking, just himself, alone. Like he's that guy. He literally could like live alone and just do the thing. I'm like, I need people. I'm like, I can't just go. Oh no, I can't travel alone. I
Oh,
can.
I
I
love
do
it. You
it.
know
I
I do
don't
that all
like
the
it.
time. I love the feeling of me just going. That's what I do with work. I love walking
I'm gonna
around.
say
Like
this
I'll go, like the
about
other day we
you.
were in Brussels and I like bumped into people from work and I had a couple beers and I was like, okay, gotta go to dinner. And like it was just me sitting at dinner.
That I understand. That's where I agree with you. Alone time is lovely. I'm going to say this about you. You're traveling to work and then
Oh
you're in front
yeah.
of so many people, which is probably exhausting, that I feel like alone time is lovely. But I'm not just going to buy a ticket to Paris by myself and walk around. I'm just not going to do it.
Glorious. Did you just
No,
hear
why
that
don't we
out
go
loud?
together?
I'm not
Why are
going
we
to
going
Paris and walk
ourselves?
around. What? That sounds
Yes,
like
I'm not
heaven
going.
on earth.
No, I need a friend. I need someone to talk to. Otherwise, I'm gonna make friends. I mean, I can make friends, but I also don't want to. And by the way, when I go on vacation with my husband, the first words he say to me is, "Don't make any friends." I'm like,
Oh my
ah,
God.
so we
I
can't
think
talk to anyone.
and I think because I've traveled so much for work by myself, but I also could not agree more that in our jobs, it's so overwhelmingly extroverted that I really absorb the time that I have on my own. But I also wonder if partly it's control of my own time. I don't like people telling me what time I need to go. We kind of like so when we've done road trips, we know where I have to be somewhere by a certain time, but like the hour before, like we're like driving, we're
Yeah,
like, "Oh, you want to stop for lunch?" And then I'll see where we are and I'll look on the map and try to find a cool place to go. Like in the moment. So we're very spur of the moment.
great.
We usually don't have, and we've talked about this. So like I like that we have like
Yes.
this flow of it, and I think I love that with travel.
Yeah, that's
Um,
good.
but I do like bask in those moments of alone time. I was driving with one of my girlfriends from work the other day and I was like, listen to the music.
Yes,
There's
that would be
really
me
chill
too.
music on. We don't have to talk about work anymore. Or like we'll be walking
I,
around like
oh God.
Newcastle, England, and I'd be like, look at how beautiful the weather is in this nice coffee shop and shopping. She'd be like, bop, 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 work, work, work. And I was like, no, escape, escape.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't talk about work and do that. No, no. I agree with that's the alone time I'm okay with. But again, not buying a ticket to
I
Paris
think
by
I might
myself to just go talk to myself.
just send you a flight
Unless
to
I'm
Paris.
writing. I did London, like Tom
Yes,
met me after like 10 days or something. And I had like I remember that. And that was wonderful. But like now, I mean, unless I'm
that's what I was
going to
gonna say.
write
Wouldn't
and
that
work on
be
things and I love
spectacular?
alone
Like
time for that.
what you would do is, Candace, I'm going to
Yes.
give you a little. itinerary. You're going to set
That's
up like 2 or 3 meetings for
yeah, give
that
it.
week, or just go for 4 days. 4 days are great for everything. Chad
Yeah.
laughs at me because he's like extended trips. I was like, 4 days are good because then I need to get back to work.
You're
Yeah.
right. 4 days are
Because I'm
good.
a little nervous to relax or to observe Chad surfing for 7 days. You're doing great, hun.
Bring a
That
good
was a
book.
great barrel. What do they do?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I know nothing about surfing, but I always admire
I
those that do it.
admire you, Chad. He admires himself. Let me tell you, it's funny because do you watch yourself perform? You had to edit your own or go through a lot of stuff, but I just don't really love watching. And then sometimes I'm
You're
like
right.
hyped and I'm like, "Oh, you're doing good, Sarah." I'll get to like a place where like I'm in the mood, but primarily I don't. Chad will show me. He will find the video of him
Oh
surfing.
no.
Hi, Juno.
Hi, Juno.
But I know when
I
his
don't know.
phone goes horizontal, he is either looking at waves
Yeah.
somewhere or watching one of his waves or finding one of his waves.
Wow. Oh my God. You know what? I admire that because I wish I could do that. Like look at myself. To edit the special, like you said, you have to dig in and watch yourself. I didn't watch myself. What I did is I put it in my ears and I listened to it while my editor sat next to me and watched it. And then I would be like, oh, stop that there, edit there. I was like, that didn't work. And he was like, Candice, look at yourself. I'm like, nope, just tell me if it works. Because if I looked at myself for about 30 seconds and I was like, I can't. I saw the faces I make, the double chin, the weird lip. I was like, nope, I'll never make these faces again. And then I'll be the
I
too
don't think
judgy.
that's
So
a
I can't do
bad
it.
idea. First of all, let's talk about comedy being like it's all about timing and sound. So I don't think you're wrong there. So you're listening and you're like, oh, there's a little bit of break. Let's tighten it
That's
up or
true.
whatever it might be. But on the other hand,
Yes.
I think that is a big thing as a performer. When you're on stage, you're not really reflecting about what you look like. And that's a great thing because you can just let fuck go. I do think
Yes.
that is, as
Yes.
somebody that's gone from stage to on camera, that has been
Yeah.
something I have been very conscious of. I'm going to be honest, and we've never really talked about it because I am overly expressive. I have found myself trying to settle in and say, because I want to perform for the 900 seat theater, right? Or not want to. I
I was just
have
gonna
performed for that.
ask you that.
And you have to remember to don't, and this is camera wise, right? When you're right in front of the camera, you're like, the camera's right there. It's going to capture you. It's so different though. Like, and I think you're in an interesting
Yeah.
place right now. And I think I want to challenge you in your next special. I think you find
Oh
something
God.
in between. This is me being like excited for your next special where you get a little bit, I think go somewhere in between in writing, right? Where it's like, because you are so good at I love when you're off the cuff. So I feel like this new like
Thank
writing that
you.
you're gonna do for the next special is gonna be somewhere
Yeah.
closer to you, not just performer Candace.
Yes, it will be a more blend of mixing my personal,
And I'm
opinions in
excited
with these
about it.
characters that I've
I'm
created.
excited
But
just for you.
you're right.
Like to even that, I won't
Wait,
even want it to be like the stand up, but somewhere more grounded in what we talk about all the time, like me and you. And
yeah.
tell the stories as you because
Thank
you're
you.
so authentic and engaging and hysterical.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. You know I love you. Thank you. Thank you. But I have a hard time watching myself. I promise the next special I'll watch
No,
myself a
no,
little more.
I don't think so. But I think that's a
I
fun
don't
challenge
know.
for you is to find something that's like more authentically just you, like your stories. Even though these are all your stories and your plan, and that's what makes it brilliant and awesome to watch and so
Yeah.
fun. Like I don't know. I want to. I'm over here daring you
There's
because
this thing that you
I'm sure I would like to dare myself, but like stand up, you know what I mean? It's a terrifying thing. But storytelling, yeah, long form
it's tough.
storytelling is like if you're good at it and you're good at it, right?
Thank you. Yes. No, I am. No, I have to say I am because I've discovered over this last like 2 weeks of the special finally. It's only been 2 weeks and I feel like it's been a year that it's out because it's been so much energy coming at me where people have literally been like, oh, so I get it now. You're not
Yeah.
a stand up. And I'm like, listen, there's nothing wrong with being a stand up. I can't do that. Like, I can't just stand there and like, just talk.
Yeah.
Like that's
I
really
think
hard.
you're a storyteller.
I have to tell a story because I grew up around storytellers. My father walks in my door yesterday and he's like, "You wait till you hear this." And I was like, okay. I had to sit down and listen to his 5-minute rant over the garbage
Yeah.
man. Like, like that's my life.
Yeah.
So I grew up in that vein. But I do think for all of us, we are all storytellers. I do struggle with telling stories via social media. I'm not great at it. I think if I was good at it, I'd have 9 million followers like we all would. But there's all these different veins of how you can tell stories now, whether it's through TikTok, whether it's, on stage. Mine will always be on stage because that's where we grew up, right? Like that's just how I can tell. And through writing, like I can write anything, but it's like, wow, to tell a story via Instagram, via hosting, even when you're hosting something, you're storytelling in some way. Like that's what I was going to say to you when you're like up in front of all these people and you got the mic in your hand. And by the way, I also think that's really freaking hard because you're trying to grab attention to who you're interviewing and then also keep the audience with you. Like, do you ever have a moment where you're like, I need to frame this question correctly. I also need to focus on the person that I'm interviewing and not get sidetracked by the thousands of people that are yelling? Do you ever have that
I would
issue?
say, with our live interviews, it's just us and the camera, right? Primarily, unless we do an in-ring interview. In-ring interviews feel the most authentic to me
Yeah.
because it's a stage, right? And I have watched my in-ring
Yeah.
interviews being like, oh, I'm doing this for theater. I'm performing here. When I do my backstage interviews, it's us and the camera. So like if I've realized that I have a whole audience, I'm doing this big arm because I'm in front of a crowd. You know what I'm saying? And or I'll do my bigger voice. And they should be because we are in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
But there's a balance of finding both
Yeah.
of those things while being like, oh shit, even though I'm in front of 10,000 people, the camera is right there. I don't have to work hard. I love that we just went to full like analyzing this, but it is very, very like, but here's the thing is we do live events where I'll be in front of 10,000 people, but really not on camera, right? Because it's live. It's not live to TV. It's just a live performance like theater. So then I don't give a hoot. I am just living my big arms and big voice. But if I know a camera is there, yeah.
Let me ask you, because I'm going to keep this in the world of what we're chatting about, but pivot to reality TV in some way. Are you a reality TV watcher? Are you like a below deck housewives watcher?
Chad and I just finished Alone, which is a survival show. And it's about being alone and like the guy just caught a moose and built a shelter.
I heard about this show. I haven't watched it.
I think that's incredibly impressive, but it's obviously not a sociology lesson. It is about just survival in general. So that's the last thing I watched. Let me give you another reality show. I feel like Chad is caught up. Like Below Deck is an easy one to jump on, but no. WWE
The reason I'm asking
did one called WWE Unreal, and the thing that's very kind of what's the word I want to use? Controversial is that thing that's very WWE's famous for not showing behind the scenes as much, even though they did for like Total Divas, and that was a huge hit. But it's like if people are not like enemies on TV, then they should not be seen interacting on social media, in life, in public. But we've gotten rid of that because everything is so public now. And so I think that's interesting. So for example, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, if they were feuding back in the day, you would never see them even communicate or take a picture together off screen, which is a very cool concept, but is impossible now. Does that make sense? If you and I were
it does make sense
to not get along, then we could not have a picture together, drinking a beer or having a glass of wine, like giggling, which was like, but that's like how you kept the truth. And then the audience didn't know what was real or not real. And that's something that's special. And now the new Netflix reality show is called Unreal. And they're showing a lot of the creative process. So that's a little bit of controversy for people that are old school.
Yeah, because I think there's something that you're hitting home at is performance is performance. And it's like, you put a camera in front of someone and part of me goes, housewives, there's a level of performance there. there's
Producers are leading
right,
everything.
right. There's a level of I really want to get a reality producer on because I think it's on the pod because I think it's so interesting what they're thinking because at the end of the day, they're creative enough to be like escalate this conversation to
We
level
could
10
definitely
and I
get
want to get
somebody
that
to
on
do that.
camera.
I think I'm not great for reality shows because I do want to protect who I am. So like for me, I don't want to be
Oh, sure.
outlandish
You're a
and
bit of
cause drama. I'm like, all
yeah.
right, I just don't think it would be my cup of tea. I one time was on a dating show and then they started doing like psych tests for me to be on a reality dating show.
Yeah.
And then they asked you for your doctor's
Yeah.
like information, like you go for STDs and
Yeah.
make sure you're checked for gyno. And I'm like, what
Yeah.
are we doing? And I said, this is too much.
Yes, I feel like as much as you and I are like, yeah, we're out there, there's also like a level of me that's like, ooh, I want to be in control of what information I'm releasing. And what I mean by that is like when this was about, oh God, a few years ago, I had some audition that asked me in the room. It was for a TV show, but it was a reality TV show. And I went, I don't want to go to this. It doesn't feel me, but I'm going to go. So I went and they asked me, we saw it on Instagram that you're married. We saw you have a show. And it was like, or you perform. It was whatever it was. And I said, oh, yes, yes. And they were like, will you fight with your husband? And I was like, you mean like every day? And they were like, well, do you? I said, well, yeah, sure. We get into tiffs and we have to deal with it. And they were like, would you be okay doing that on camera? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, and I started to connect. And they were like, well, what annoys you the most about him? I'm like, oh, you're trying to get me to do something. And I didn't like that. I felt manipulated. And I was like,
And I
that doesn't
also think
feel me.
and obviously, there's always a different type of person, maybe that just has fun with it. But I do think they're seeking a lot of fame in that moment. And there's money. Vanderpump, Housewives, they have like full
Well, I'm not
careers.
going to lie. It makes great TV. And these people are having the time of their lives. So I can't like knock it. I just go, oh, I don't think I can do it like in that way. I'm more of a like a theater gal. I just want to live in that
Who thinks
space
that
in
they're
a
all
TV
having
scripted
who thinks
space.
that they're
But
really
the
having the
unscripted,
time of their life?
I don't know. It looks like a
What are
lot
you
of
watching
fun.
that's a
I
lot of
don't
fun?
know. I mean, even when they're doing
I'm like, this is how
that,
you
the way you
represented
just
the
asked
rest of
that
your life.
question,
This is how the public, how many people see you.
I think they're
I
enjoying it.
second
Otherwise, would they do
guess
it
like
continually?
things I said to that I
Oh,
could
you're wondering.
offend someone or that I said something that sounded stupid or like I find myself very aware now of how I'm represented to the public. No, they're
I don't think they're
absolutely
thinking
not.
like that.
There's a freedom of letting go, but it's also I believe people are seeking fame.
Sure. I mean, it's everywhere. It's you can't, get on your phone without being like, all right, another viral
Everybody's
thing just went. You know what I mean? Like,
attention
and it's
and
a new
fame,
new
right? And
face.
I know that that's so much perceived of anybody going to acting, hosting, podcasts. Like you want to be heard, you want to be seen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I think too, there's that level of like we talked about it, like a quick flash in the pan versus longevity. Like I don't know what reality takes you to. Maybe you start producing as whoever gets involved in reality. Maybe you start, opening up your own network. I have no idea. I'm making it up, but I do think there's a level of like you said, just sort of like willy nilly
I think
running
if
with the
in my
information
20s,
and
I would do it in my
totally.
20s.
I don't even think I could do it in my 20s. I don't think I was that.
You would do
I,
it
yeah,
now?
I'm not. I know. I don't know if you were
I think
either.
I would be if the opportunity came up,
Never.
I probably in my 20s would have.
Like if someone came to me right now and they were like, "Listen, we want to do a reality show of following." By the way, why would you want to follow us? But of the Kardashian sort of energy of like we're in your
No, if he gets us
household.
a house
Sylvester
on the
Stallone is in
beach,
his
fuck
household
it.
now with his daughter. See,
Yeah,
my mom's first reaction would be like, "Absolutely not, Candace. We are very private people."
yeah.
And then I'd be like, "Yeah, but they want us to do it, house on the
Yeah,
beach." She's like,
this is
"Oh,
what's gonna
totally
make
in."
us be
Like,
able to live like passive income. Ah, forget it. Let me put
yeah.
character and
So
morals
this is the
away. I'll
problem.
chuck them aside.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I think I have a lot of morals, but I
I
also
love
think I
that
have
for
none.
you. I love that for you. Yeah,
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
yeah, I
I
love
I
that.
do.
Okay, well, I think
We have to move on to
yeah.
spring. It's
I
spring.
mean, spring is definitely one of the best times of the year, but yeah.
New York spring, right? Nothing
I
beats a
the
good
thing
New
is though,
York City
it all
spring.
depends like when we will get warmth. We didn't get much last year, so hopefully the sun will be shiny, everything will be glorious.
Pray to Jesus.
See a lot of shows. Chad and I
Pray
saw
to
like all the
Jesus.
shows I wanted to see this year, like Waiting for Godot with Keanu Reeves. We just saw Josh Henry in Ragtime.
I
And
saw
then, yeah, I've
that.
had a very good year of seeing shows in the city, which I've loved.
Sarah, that's why I pitched us, because I want us to be on the red carpet at the Tony Awards, and
Tonys.
because I think would be really fun. Tony
Tonys.
Awards, are you listening? Sarah and Candice
I
would be very fun on the red
Yeah,
carpet
well, I think
doing a
that's our
live
next
podcast.
step. I think we should look into that this summer, maybe doing a live broadcast somewhere. Maybe the Tonys.
I like that idea. Or we also talked about a
Yeah.
theater. A
Who's gonna be
theater.
our guest? We gotta figure that out.
A live show. Inviting, I don't know, we'd have to invite some really fun guests to like join the fun.
Maybe bring our mothers on stage.
Don't start. Oh, don't
my
start.
goodness
Oh my
gracious.
God. Thanks for joining us today.
You can follow us on Instagram at Don't Start Podcast.
Or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
And we'll see you next time, friends.
Don't Start is produced by Anthony Street Productions.